Let's bake this delicious fall apple rosemary focaccia. Focaccia, haha, as you would pronounce it in Italiano, I believe, okay? Focaccia. If you know how to pronounce it better, please drop it in the comments below, okay? It sounds like Spanish, focaccia. Anyways, yes, we're going to top this off with brown sugar sauteed apples and some fresh lavender from my herbal garden. In one bowl, we will gather our wet ingredients, the warm water, honey, and yeast. This is 3/4 cup of warm water, warm, okay? 1 teaspoon of honey, and 2 + 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast, which comes out to be 1 packet of instant yeast that I showed you here on the screen. You will allow these ingredients to sit for about 5 minutes and you will notice it foam up a little bit. In a separate bowl, you will gather your dry ingredients. This includes 1 cup + 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. Whisk it a little to evenly distribute the salt, and then add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You will be using a lot more olive oil for the pan and the topping, so make sure that you grab a bottle for this recipe. It really doesn't matter which type of olive oil you use, whatever you enjoy, and you definitely need to enjoy olive oil taste for this recipe. It requires a lot. After those 5 minutes, you will add the wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. You really only need a handheld whisk and a rubber spatula to mix all of this together. Mix until a soft, sticky dough forms. You want to go ahead and knead the dough for about 3 to 5 minutes, just until smooth. You can either do this by hand or using an electric mixer where you attach the little paddle that works great for, kneading dough. So this recipe is incredibly perfect for the fall time. If you are new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe and join the community. I will be sharing various fall recipes these next few weeks, so please stay tuned. Turn notifications on if you enjoy fall recipes, if you love fall season as much as I do. I'm doing my best to release these ahead of time so that you can make them for any fall occasion, for fun, or for Thanksgiving and the holidays. I do my best to make these recipe baking videos on my YouTube channel as informative as possible for any beginners or anyone who just wants to follow along step by step exactly how I make my recipes so that you get the exact same results. If you're someone who enjoys the digital recipes more, you can check out my Etsy shop if you would like to support me. You can find some digital recipes there. I'm slowly adding more and more. Okay, bye. Back to the recipe. So you want to lightly oil a bowl with the olive oil as I did. I grabbed this little brush and I just make sure to oil it all because the dough ball is going to expand. By the way, I should have said this at the beginning. This recipe is only going to take about 45 minutes to an hour when it comes to the dough process, so you don't have to wait a whole day or a week or whatever, okay? Let the dough rise for 45 to 60 minutes in a warm spot or until the dough ball doubles in size. While we wait for that, we can brown our sauteed apples. I believed I used 2 apples for this. Make as much as you want because I enjoyed some on the side anyways. But you can do 1 apple thinly sliced plus about a tablespoon of butter or more if you enjoy it buttery, and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar is enough. Honestly, as you saw me do here, I actually didn't measure it. I just went ahead and added more to my liking. You can also add a pinch of cinnamon or nutmeg if you want a little pop of flavor in there. I went ahead and added some cinnamon. And it's super easy. Basically, in a pot, you want to melt the butter over medium heat. Add your thin apple slices plus the brown sugar and the spice if you're using any. Cook for 3 to 5 minutes until just softened and glossy. Make sure that they cool down before you arrange them on the focaccia before baking. Okay, here's our beautiful expanded dough. Look at how gorgeous it is. Ugh. At this point, you want to preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius. I'm using this large baking glass tray, or you can use a cookie baking tray. Honestly, it will work as well. I've done it before. You can also use a smaller pan because this one's pretty big. I'm not quite sure the dimensions. It's probably a little bigger than It's probably around 8 by 13. If you use a smaller one, your focaccia is going to be thicker. But personally, I enjoy mine when they're very thin or on the thin side. And you're basically just going to pour some olive oil. Don't be afraid. I know it looks scary if you're doing this for the first time. Like, oh my gosh, that's so much olive oil. It's okay because when it bakes, it's going to absorb it and make it like soft and moist. If you're more on the bready side, like if you enjoy that more, then just use a little less olive oil. But I promise you, when it bakes, it's going to absorb a lot of it. And then we have our fresh rosemary that I got from my herbal garden, like I told y'all. So if you were watching the screen, basically you want to gently stretch the risen dough into the pan. Use your oiled fingers and dimple the surface gently with your fingertips. And then now at this process, we are just topping off with the cooled down apple slices and the rosemary sprigs. Since there was a little of that caramelized brown sugar in my pan, I went ahead and drizzled it on top, and I highly recommend that you do this. Again, don't be shy. It's going to absorb into the dough when it bakes. Or you can also drizzle honey or maple syrup and some extra olive oil like I did. You may also sprinkle a pinch of cinnamon sugar for a bakery style flair. And boom, this is our result. Look at how delicious and perfect this looks for fall season. I know it may not look baked, but I promise you it is. It's so delicious with that brown sugar. The rosemary and the apples go so well. I highly recommend that you caramelize them because you can't just top on some sliced apples and then bake it, but I recommend that you caramelize them. It gives it more of a flavor, a little pop of flavor. And make sure to use fresh rosemary. It is so good. I really enjoyed this. I've been doing some meal prepping this week, and if you like to follow along that, you can join my other YouTube channel or my TikTok. But anyways, I added this to one of my meal preps, which was a spinach lasagna and some garlic green beans, and it paired so well. To best store this for short term, you want to let it cool completely so the steam doesn't make it soggy. Wrap it loosely in parchment paper or a clean kitchen towel, and then keep it at room temp, not in the fridge, which it dries it out quickly. If you want to enjoy it in the next day or two, you want to wrap it in parchment, then put it in a paper bag or bread box to keep the crust from going too soft. If you want longer storage, such as for meal prepping, you are going to have to freeze this. So you want to cool it completely and then cut it into portions like you saw me do. Wrap each portion tightly in plastic wrap or foil and then place it in an airtight freezer bag. And you can freeze this for up to 1 to 2 months and then just thaw and warm up to enjoy. I really hope that you enjoyed this recipe. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure to leave them below. Thank you so much for being here and for joining my YouTube community. I would love to stay connected with you all. Any bakers out there, beginners or advanced, or people in general. I hope you enjoy. Bye guys.